G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland, and this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's Climate Outlook for Queensland for the weeks and months ahead, issued in the last week of April 2025. We'll take a look at these rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with the outlook scenarios here, and these are the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. Now, looking ahead to the 3 months from May to July, we're seeing a 75% chance of up to around 10 to 25 millimetres or so for southwest Queensland, increasing towards the east and far north to 100 millimetres or more along parts of the coast. And as always, you can use this magnifying glass here to drill deeper into the forecast, specifying your location of interest to break the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring. And this will give you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. Just ask your local climate mate to go through this with you in more detail. Now let's look at the temperatures. And the differences from average for maximum temperature here show warmer conditions across most of Queensland, particularly in the south, for the first half of May. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. For minimum temperature, we're expecting warmer than average conditions across the state. And looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from May to July, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days across most of the state, except for some parts of the north, and unusually warm nights across Queensland. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year, based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now, of course, these long-range forecasts for rainfall and temperature do provide the best guidance for local climate, so that is our focus here. These forecasts consider all ocean and atmosphere conditions that affect seasonal weather and climate. But if you are interested in some of the climate factors that can influence the forecasts, we will have a quick look at these now. And the El Niño Southern Oscillation here remains neutral. The Bureau's model suggests that we are likely to remain in this neutral range, so neither El Niño nor La Niña until at least September, and this is consistent with all surveyed international models. The Indian Ocean Dipole, or the IOD, is also neutral and likely to remain so for the next few months. A moderate pulse of the Madden-Julian Oscillation, the MJO, is currently over the Western Pacific, and it's forecast to weaken and become inactive in the first week of May. And the Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, has been strongly positive through most of April and is forecast to be close to the positive threshold through May. Now, I should also note the sea surface temperature outlook, which is likely to be influencing the forecast for Australia. This shows warmer than average waters around the Australian coastline, persisting for the May to July period. And in fact, global sea surface temperatures remain substantially above average. Now, turning to the pasture growth outlook from long paddock for the 3 months from April to June, we are expecting to see pasture growth across the north, as shown here, in response to the recent and expected rainfall in the months ahead. And finally, looking at the cattle comfort prototype forecasts at nacp.org.au, index values between 30 and 35 degrees represent moderate stress to cattle, values between 35 and 40 degrees represent severe stress, and values above 40 degrees are considered extreme. And we are expecting varying heat stress conditions over Northern Australia, with mostly moderate to severe conditions to be aware of in the days ahead. As always, for more information and updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate, and you can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacp.org.au. See you next time.